My name is Tina. I am 22 years old, a university student trying to survive between lectures, assignments, and a part-time job that barely pays my rent. My parents are extremely traditional. They believe a girl's honor is everything, and freedom is a luxury girls should not have. They call me every hour, sometimes more, asking where I am, who I am with, what time I will return. I learned to lie softly, carefully, so their trust would not completely shatter. My part-time job is at a private corporate office downtown. I work as a junior assistant, mostly handling files, emails, and coffee runs. That office is where I first saw him. Everyone called him the boss. His real name was Daniel, but no one dared use it. He was in his late 30s, confident, calm, and intimidating without trying. He had sharp eyes that noticed everything and a presence that made conversations stop when he entered a room. On my first day, I spilled coffee on my own hands out of nervousness. I expected anger. Instead, he calmly handed me tissues and said, "Relax. You'll learn." His voice stayed with me long after. From that day, he started noticing my work. He corrected me when I made mistakes, praised me when I did well, and slowly, without me realizing, became part of my thoughts. I kept my distance. I had never been in a relationship. My parents had raised me to fear men, love, and desire. Yet something about him felt different, safe and dangerous at the same time. One evening, he asked me to stay late to help with a report. My heart raced, but I agreed. That night changed everything, not because something happened, but because of what I felt. For the first time, someone saw me not as a controlled daughter, but as a woman. Staying late became a routine. Always professional, always quiet, but charged with unspoken tension. We talked about work at first, then slowly about life. He told me he built everything from nothing. No family support, no shortcuts. I told him about my parents, my fear of disappointing them, and how trapped I felt. He listened without judgment. One evening, my phone kept vibrating. My mother. My father. Missed calls piling up. I panicked. Daniel noticed and asked what was wrong. I told him the truth. He frowned, not in anger, but concern. "You're an adult, Tina," he said gently. "You deserve a life." Those words hit me harder than anything. No one had ever said that to me. That night, when he offered to drop me home, I hesitated but accepted. The car ride was silent but heavy. When we reached my street, he didn't try anything. He simply said, "Be careful. And don't let anyone decide who you are." I went to bed shaking. Guilt mixed with excitement. I knew I was stepping into dangerous territory, not because of him, but because of the world I came from. My parents noticed changes in me. I smiled more. I stayed quieter at home. They started watching me closer. At work, rumors began. People noticed how often I worked late, how the boss trusted me. Jealous eyes followed me. I tried to ignore it, focusing only on my tasks. But emotions don't stay hidden forever. One accidental touch of hands while passing files sent electricity through me. We both pulled away quickly, but the damage was done. There was no going back. My parents confronted me one night. They accused me of lying, of hiding something. My father's voice was cold, my mother's eyes sharp. I denied everything, but fear made my lies weak. They warned me. "One mistake," my father said, "and you will regret it for the rest of your life." The next day, I went to work shaken. Daniel noticed immediately. I tried to act normal, but tears betrayed me. He took me into his office and closed the door. He didn't touch me. He just waited. When I finally spoke, everything poured out. The fear, the pressure, the control. He listened, jaw tight. "You don't belong in a cage," he said quietly. "But I won't be the reason your life is destroyed." He offered distance. Professional boundaries. Space. His words hurt more than I expected. I realized how deeply I cared. We tried to keep things formal, but feelings don't obey rules. Late one night, after everyone left, I found him staring at the city lights. We talked. Honest, raw, vulnerable. He admitted he felt the same but was fighting it. The tension broke. Not with passion, but with truth. We promised to be careful. That night, nothing physical happened, but emotionally, I crossed a line. I was no longer just a daughter or an employee. I was a woman choosing her feelings for the first time. Rumors reached my parents through relatives. Someone had seen me leaving the office late. The pressure exploded. My phone was taken. My freedom cut further. They demanded I quit my job. Panic took over. That job was my independence, my escape. I told Daniel everything. He stayed calm, but I could see anger beneath. He offered to help me find another position, even offered financial help. I refused. I didn't want to be saved. I wanted to stand. One evening, my parents followed me. They saw his car. They saw me step out. The confrontation was brutal. Accusations flew. Insults burned. Daniel stepped in, respectful but firm. That only made things worse. My father dragged me away, threatening to end my education. That night, I cried silently. I felt broken between love and loyalty. Daniel sent one message: whatever you decide, I respect you. The choice was mine, and it terrified me. Days passed without seeing him. I was locked inside my home emotionally and physically. My parents planned to send me to relatives, cut my studies short. That's when something inside me changed. Fear turned into resolve. I met Daniel secretly one last time. I told him I was leaving home. Not for him, but for myself. He didn't push. He simply supported. He helped me find a small place near my university. Moving out felt like betrayal and freedom combined. My parents disowned me. The pain was unbearable. Nights were the hardest. But I kept going. I focused on studies, work, and slowly rebuilding myself. Daniel remained careful, respectful, patient. One night, months later, when I felt strong enough, I chose him. Freely. Without fear. Without pressure. It wasn't about innocence anymore. It was about trust. Our relationship stayed private. He never used his power over me. In fact, he stepped back professionally to protect me. I grew at work on my own merit. Confidence replaced fear. My parents slowly softened. Distance taught them I wasn't lost, just different. Occasional calls returned. Cold, but present. Daniel showed me a world I never knew: books, conversations, silence without fear. Love without control. For the first time, I felt equal. Challenges came. Society judged. Colleagues whispered. Age difference raised eyebrows. But we faced it together. Honest conversations replaced secrets. Respect replaced dominance. I graduated university. My parents attended, sitting far but watching. My mother cried quietly. That day, I realized independence doesn't mean losing family forever. Daniel stood beside me, not as a boss, but as a partner. Years later, I look back at the girl I was: afraid, controlled, silent. She feels distant now. I rebuilt my relationship with my parents slowly, on my terms. They never fully understood, but they accepted. Daniel and I built a life based on choice, not rebellion. The title people once whispered became irrelevant. I was no longer just a virgin or someone's daughter. I was Tina, a woman who chose her own story.